Welcome to DevOps and Animation. In today's video, we are going to learn how to connect Jenkins and GitHub, it making your development process smoother and more automated. So here I am going to push my source code into GitHub by using git command. We will integrate Jenkins with GitHub and we will trigger the Jenkins by using webhook service. So let's get started and make your Jenkins and GitHub integration. For that I am using EC2 instance. For doing this project I have downloaded a template from this site. You can also download any template for testing purpose. Yes, free CSS, and in this site you can easily download free templates, and for a testing purpose I have downloaded a template from here, and now we are going to push that code into GitHub. So let's do that. This is my source code. Here you can see index.html and image directory, fonts, CSS, everything is there. Now I am going to push this code into GitHub. For that, let's use git commands. I have initialized the Git repository. Project directory, first I have initialized the Git repository. After that I used a git command like git add, then I used git commit, then I passed a message here. Then next we have to create a repository in our GitHub. Here I am going to create a new repository for our project. Give it any name here. Here I am giving integration with Jenkins. Integration Jenkins. You can give any name, whatever you want, and description is optional. I made the visibility is public and just create repository. Now we have created a repository in GitHub. Next we can push our code into this repository. For that, just clear the screen. Let's add our remote into our local. Let's push our code into our GitHub repository using git push command. As you can see, our source code is pushing to GitHub repository. Yes, successfully finished. Let's verify that from here. Our old files and directories are now visible in our GitHub repository because we have successfully pushed our source code from local into our GitHub. Next, what I am going to do, like we want to install Jenkins. For that, here I am going to create a EC2 instance in AWS. If you don't know how to launch a EC2 instance in AWS, you can also learn from this video. Just give any name like Jenkins server. You can give it any name, whatever you want, and then we can choose our OS, Ubuntu. Here I chose Ubuntu as our OS, and next let's choose the instance type. We can choose T3 medium. It have 2 virtual CPU and 4 GB memory because Jenkins consumes more resources. For that we can choose T3 medium. Then next, let's create a new key pair. This key pair is absolutely for SSH authentication. For if you don't have any existing key pair, you can create from this interface and give it any name. For that, Jenkins key. I give it here Jenkins key. You can give any name. Select .pem extension, then create key pair. Our key pair is just selected here, and next leave it as by default, and if you want you can add the volume, storage and launch instance. Let's go to instances. As you can see, our server is in pending state, so let's wait a few seconds. Yes, right now our server in running state, so let's SSH into the server. For that, copy this public IP of our server. From here we can SSH. From here we can SSH by using our SSH key pair we have just created in AWS interface. For that we can use SSH-I. Let's mention our Jenkins SSH key pair. Then Ubuntu is our OS username. Then let's mention our IP. Copy from here and let's paste here. Yes, as you can see we are getting an error here because we have to change our public key jenkins.key.pm. we have to change this key permission. For that, sudo chmod, let's mention the permission, also select the key, just enter. Now let's try this. As we have successfully SSH'd into our Jenkins server, now we have to install Jenkins in this server. First I'm going to do update the repository by using sudo apt update. Once it finished, we have to install Jenkins. To run Jenkins we need Java and also Java runtime environment. So first of all we have to install Java and Java runtime environment. For installation guide you can even refer Jenkins official website, that is jenkins.io. there you can see everything. Under documentation, installing Jenkins, select that option. Here you have all details regarding the installation. We can select Linux. In my case I'm using Linux, so I chose Linux. Then Debian, Ubuntu, Fedora, Red Hat. In my case I'm using Ubuntu, and here also it's mentioned with the release of Debian 12 OpenJDK, and it has been replaced with OpenJDK 17, so we have to install OpenJDK 17 version. And here you can see a bash script to install Jenkins. So first we can install Java and Java runtime environment. For that you can use this command, sudo apt install OpenJDK 17th version, also Java runtime environment JRE. Let's install first, then we can install Jenkins on this server. Meantime, let's copy this bash script from here. Once it finished, we can run the bash script in our server. Yes, next let's paste our bash script here. As you can see, our Jenkins is downloading. Meantime, we can open the port in our server. Jenkins default port is 8080, so let's open the port in our server, then only we can get the access. Under security we can select our security group here, and let's edit the inbound rules. Here we can add another rule. Port let's mention as 8080. Then let's select the CIDR blocks as 0.0.0.0 because it allows the traffic from anywhere. Here we can see anywhere from IPv4. So let's allow this and serve rule. Come back to instances. Now we have opened the Jenkins port in our server. Next, let's copy our public IP, and once our Jenkins is successfully installed, let's verify that. For that, open your browser and copy our public IP, and mention our port number 8080, hit the enter. Yes, I get this view, and here it's asking administrator password. For that, we can visit this path and we will get the administrator password, or else we can check by using systemctl status of Jenkins. From there also we can get our administrator password. Yes, active. Our Jenkins is at running state, is showing as active, and here we can see this is our administrator password. So we can copy from here and let's paste here, then hit continue. Yes, we will get this interface. So it's asking to install suggested plugins, so let's go with that. I chose that, and here the most of the plugins are installing in Jenkins. So let's wait a few seconds to install these plugins. Once it finished the installation, we will get the Jenkins interface. As I mentioned before, this is our repository in GitHub. Under our repository, we can see a settings option is here. Click there and we will see a webhook option, service is here. And next, let's want to enable and add a webhook here for our Jenkins pipeline. Why we are enabling or adding webhook here means whenever we do any changes or modifications, or whenever we push some codes into or make any changes in this repository, automatically our Jenkins will trigger and our build will start. For that, we are enabling webhook service. As our plugins installation is completed, let's give any username here. I'm giving like admin. Give it any password. Confirm the password again. Give any name here. Give it any email ID. Then save and continue. Yes, this is our URL, and save and finish. Start using Jenkins. As I get this Jenkins interface, here we have to create a pipeline. Just give any name, Jenkins pipeline, and select freestyle project. Here I am going to select freestyle project. If you want to select any other project type, you can select from here and just click OK. And this is our pipeline configuration stage. So here we have to configure everything. Under source code management SCM, we have to enable this option, and let's give our repository URL here to connect with our GitHub. Go to our GitHub and under code we can select HTTPS and let's paste our URL from here and come back to Jenkins, then paste here. And we have to mention our branch also. In our GitHub, here we can see our available branches. In my case, here is only branch, that is main, so I'm going to mention my branch here as main instead of master. Then let's enable the GitHub webhook trigger for git SCM polling. I just enabled. Then let's save the changes. For that, to verify the working, let's build our code now. Just click the build. As you can see, our code is building here, and once it's finished, let's check the console output. Yes, this is our username in Jenkins, started by user Jenkins, and at the end we can see it's finished success. So it's successfully finished. There is no error in our building stage. By this way we can connect our Jenkins with the GitHub, and also we have enabled webhook service in GitHub. So let's verify that it's working or not. So if our webhook service is okay, we can automatically build our code in Jenkins. Let's see that how it's working. For that, first let's add a webhook here. Under webhook, let's add a webhook, and here is asking password. Yes, here we can add a webhook for our pipeline. Just copy our Jenkins URL, and here we can paste our URL. Then we have to mention one thing: GitHub-webhook, then slash. And here we can see, let me select individual events. So from this drop down we can select events like pushes or pull whenever we want to trigger our build. So we can select the events from here. I'm selecting pushes and pull request, and let's add our webhook. Yes, now we have added webhook for our Jenkins. Let's verify that it's working or not. For that, I'm going to make some changes in our index.html file. Here I'm going to change the title name. So let's select the edit file section, and here I'm going to change the title name, and let's give our channel name and commit the changes. Yes, now we made a modification in our repository. We have added a webhook for our pipeline. So let's verify it's automatically. Yes, here you can see the build number is 2. It's automatically generated, and also it's successfully finished. So by this way we can connect our Jenkins with GitHub, and also we can enable webhook service for our pipeline project. And let's verify our template is working or not. For that, let's take the workspace option, and here you can see everything is here. Let's take our index.html. Yes, it's working. There is no issue. It's working successfully. I hope this video will boost your knowledge and also making your development process smoother and more automated. So if you like this video, please subscribe our channel and also like this video.